You are officially welcomed to 2023 by me, because I think now I have just officially arrived in 2023. With all the sickness and everything happening in 2023, I think, yeah, it's been rough. But nonetheless, we are here, we've arrived officially. And I'd like to apologize, guys. It's been ages since I've posted a video. I've been feeling so under the weather. So in between feeling under the weather, being a full-time mother, being a full-time student, being a full-time wife, nothing as a part-time, but nonetheless, I believe in this channel and I believe in the progress that we can make together. So guys, thank you so much for your love, thank you so much for your consistency, thank you so much for believing in this channel and believing in me. So this year we believe that we will grow and make all the margins that we can make and advancements that we can make. So welcome to 2023. I'm believing that 2023 is going to be the best year for you, as we learn new concepts about ourselves, as we endeavor to be the best version of ourselves. So to kick right into it, as you see, the content for today is confidence in 2023. Guys, confidence is such an important topic, and I think we have bought into the idea or subscribed to the adage that says fake it till you make it. From my side, or in my perspective, I believe that the saying of fake it till you make it, it robs us of progress. It robs us of so much that we can do in our lives. So as we get into it, please remember to like, to share, to subscribe. Please, it doesn't cost you anything. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you've been jollering with us for quite some time right now, if you're enjoying the content, just subscribe so that you don't miss any episode. Just make sure that you are with us, you're moving with us as we grow and as we advance in 2020. Now, getting right back to the content of today, confidence. I think in our lives, we end up having so much confidence in everything else or everybody else except ourselves. And when it refers to us, the confidence that we end up having, it's the concept of faking it until you make it. And it is so limiting. Now I believe this saying, faking it till you make it, because when you fake it till you make it, it carries the connotation of falsehood. It's like we get isa, or you lack authenticity. So faking it till you make it, it delays your progress, because true confidence, in my perception, is that it is seasoned. And in order for it to be seasoned, it requires a level of authenticity. And you can only be authentic or true to yourself if you have done the work to excavate and cultivate who you are and to identify yourself with who you are. Why do I say this? Because failure to cultivate those areas or cultivate yourself or to introduce yourself to yourself puts you in a state whereby you are always employing or you are always putting a front of pseudofidence. I call it pseudofidence. It's a wordism that I have created because it's pseudo-confidence. It's something confidence, like confidence. Because you see it so much in the fact that so often people habanga apara something, if they wear certain clothes, then they start being confident. If they drive a particular car, then they start being confident. If, for instance, they have a specific position at work, only then do they start having a certain level of confidence. So it goes to show that their confidence or such confidence is externally inspired as opposed to internally cultivated. Now, the thing is, we live in a society, it praises or it applauds that front that we give of confidence, of pseudofidence. It fails to recognize the fallacy of pseudofidence, because pseudo-confidence, it creates a void inside of you that nothing else can fill. Because with pseudo-confidence, you constantly have to be acquiring things to feel confident. You always have to have a certain type of car, a certain type of clothing, a certain type of neighborhood that you live in order to feel confident. And the challenge with that is that it is so competitive. Once someone else presents themselves at a higher level, or they have achieved more than you have achieved, or they've got more qualifications than you have, or they've got more cars than you have, or they've got more clothes, you always go back to that shell or to that place of feeling so insecure in yourself. That is why I say that it's such a fallacy, it's such a falsehood, it's such a pretense, it's such a delay of progress, because of the fact that you always have to be doing so much more externally to feel what you can actually cultivate from within. So when you start looking at confidence from a different perspective, you start cultivating confidence from the inside out. It no longer becomes about the next person. It no longer becomes about how you're perceived, but it's about building capacity within yourself to believe more from yourself. Why do I say this? We end up having so much confidence in everything else except ourselves. We've got confidence in our families, we've got confidence in our friends, we've got confidence in our colleagues, we've got confidence in the cars we drive, we've got confidence in the clothes that we wear. But ultimately, we don't actually have confidence in ourselves. Somewhere along the line, there was a break in that internal trust that you have in yourself, because ultimately, confidence stems from the ability to have trust, or to trust something to produce a specific result. For instance, if you're going to sit on a chair, you don't actually think about it. You just simply sit on a chair because of the fact that you trust that it's got the capacity to carry you. So you've got confidence in the fact that this chair will be able to carry you. It's only when you fall from a chair before, like if you fall from a chair, that you start losing your confidence in different chairs to carry you. I don't know if that makes sense. So in the same breath, using the same analogy, somewhere along the line, something happened that within yourself, you don't believe that you've got the capacity within yourself to carry yourself through whatever it is that you are doing. Task, relationship, societal norms, or the community that you live in. You have gone through, it can either be a trauma, whatever it is, that has diminished within you the capacity for you to believe in yourself, for yourself. It's so easy to believe in yourself for somebody else. But once we start having to believe in ourselves for ourselves, then the conversation is totally different. Because now it's not about the next person. It starts being about you, and you start now having to ask yourself very personal, very introspective questions, and ask yourself, well, okay, but why am I doing this? Who am I? Like, the authenticity then is brought to the forefront. And very often than not, we want to fall back into the norm or the custom of creating pseudo-confidence, a confidence that ascribes to a specific societal norm. And the challenge with that is that it will never be enough. You always have to add more to it for you to feel a certain type of way. It's always competitive. When somebody else presents themselves as having more or have achieved more, you will always start feeling a certain level of insecurity. Now, to build capacity in yourself, to believe more from yourself, for yourself, it is something that we would have to break down further. It's a conversation we would have to explore further, because there are levels to it, or there are dimensions to it. Because one of the things that become very prominent is that confidence has a curve. Confidence has a curve, and you have to start somewhere and go somewhere. If you want to employ pseudo-confidence, it always starts on a high, because you can buy it. You can present it. It's false. You can quickly get there. But when you want to start cultivating true confidence, it's a curve that you have to then put into action. One of the things that you start looking at is the principle of altitude. We will talk about it in one of the coming videos, but the starting point is the principle of altitude. That is what gets you started. Then you move to a time value asset. Understanding the time value asset. This is the trajectory or the growth curve of confidence. And then only then do you get to incubation. Failure to understand this growth curve, or to fully maximize on each and every level of this growth curve, it will always create a short-changed kind of feeling, or confidence that lacks the ability to stand the test of time. Because confidence, you see it in the times when you are not at your peak, where your confidence is directly proportional to your strength, or the state, being in the state of like your best, then that is not true confidence. Because confidence is able to exist in and out of your strengths. It is there when you are at your weakest. It is there when you are at your strongest. It is there when you are at your most uncertain. But confidence is there. Why? Because it is internally or intrinsically cultivated. You know that in spite of circumstances and situations, in spite of whatever you are going through, you are able, you've got the capacity to draw from within you the necessary resources or the necessary tools to be able to launch you into whatever next season or dimension that you need to go into. And then the fourth level of the curve of confidence is the projectile. So these are conversations that it would be so great to have. But in 2023, I need us to look at life differently. Let confidence stop being about faking it till you make it. it is unable, it is unsustainable. It is unsustainable because of the fact that in that model or that school of thought, it presents confidence in a system of a life cycle. Basically, confidence lives and then dies, lives and then dies, lives and then goes through the life cycle and then dies. But we want to cultivate a state of being, or a state of confidence, of living in the essence of confidence, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situations, regardless of how appealing a situation might be. But it's about cultivating an authenticity. It's about cultivating a being. It's about cultivating the full expression of the fact that, you know what, in spite of everything or everybody else misunderstanding, in spite of everybody not approving, in spite of, is fully cultivated. One of the things, it's part of the growth curve that authenticity does, which is part of the of confidence, of building authentic confidence, is that in the state of authenticity, when you fully explore and expand on authenticity, you have to fully confront who you are. Come face to face with the good, bad, and the ugly. I mean, there is nothing as humbling as realizing that you're not the best thing since sliced bread. It can be a very humbling experience, but it can also be a very liberating experience, because at that point you are coming to terms with the fact that, okay, Tshogofatso is like this, and with Tshogofatso being like this, does this state, or who Tshogofatso is now, is it a true representation of whom you believe she is? Is it a true representation of who I believe I am? And then with that premise, you are able to then have a different narrative, or redefine the narrative, redefine the conversation. But without authenticity, you live in a fallacy. You live in a state whereby, hey, Bona, you think, hey, Bona, untouchable, the best, because of the fact that you have subscribed to pseudofidence. So in 2023, it is possible. It is possible to live in a state, or to be in a position whereby you are not moved by circumstances or situations, whereby you are not moved by your weaknesses. You embrace each and every state, in each and every stage, and each and every dimension of who you are, with a brave face, with confidence, knowing the fact that what you are cultivating, who you are cultivating, is ultimately going to rise above what may seem to everybody else, what may seem to you as an inadequacy, what may seem to everybody else as a weakness, what may seem to everybody else as an inability. So join me for the next few conversations where we'll be talking about the growth. I believe that we'll have more time to talk about the growth curve, or the curve of confidence, where we start with the time principle, the principle of altitude, the time value asset, the incubation, and the projectile. Thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome 2023. Bona, in 2023, we're doing it like nobody else. So yeah, I can't wait to have more sessions, to have more conversations. Feel free to comment, feel free to share, feel free to share your thoughts. about this conversation. If there's anything that is uncertain, anything that is unclear, let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about this. Let's see ourselves becoming the best version of ourselves in 2023. It is possible, contrary to popular belief. I love you, everybody. Mwah!